computer. Now recording. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to our PowerPoint for today. We are going to talk about the English settlement in, in the in the Chesapeake, and let's talk about the most beautiful Disney princess of all time, other than Jasmine and the fox in Robin Hood. Okay. No, you guys aren't having that one?
Robin Hood?
Yeah, you know the old
I thought it was pretty
Robin
funny.
Hood cartoon? The little fox?
You guys haven't seen Robin Hood?
Yeah, what's your
Oh,
deal?
there's Fox Maiden. My bad. I thought you were talking about just Robin Hood, the fox. Got to.
Yeah, the Robin Hood fox, man. I love that show. I also love Soren. All of the Disney shows I like are like the history old ones, and those are the ones the girls hate. They like to watch Moana and like crap like that, and I'm like, oh, yuck. I will say the show that they've been watching that I kind of enjoy, to be honest, is K-pop, Demon Hunters. I kind of enjoy that, low key. Yeah, really do. I mean, I wouldn't sit and watch it on my own. I wouldn't be like, oh, I love this, but I would watch it with my daughters because they're fun. My daughters are awesome. Can I say that daughters are more fun than sons, at least when they're little? I don't know what they're going to be like when they get older, but
That's valid.
that's valid. Okay, so let's talk about Powhatan and Pocahontas. Powhatan is the father of Pocahontas. Powhatan sees he sees these explorers, these Englishmen, as threats, right? They come in these big, huge ships and they settle and they have weapons, guns, like they refer to it as like like they make thunder in their hand. It's terrifying. They feel like these people are really big threats to them. Has anybody seen Chief of War on Apple TV? Anybody? No one? Jason Momoa? Okay. Go watch Chief of War. That really kind of resembles the way that turn my phone on silent. That really resembles the way that the Native Americans were received a lot of people. Now, people like we think about New England and Squanto welcomed these people, but that was just one tribe. For the most part, these people are scary, right? They're different colored skin for heck's sakes. I know Samantha doesn't like people of different colored skin.
Excuse me?
Oh, okay. I was just that was checking to see if you're paying attention. You won, Samantha. Good job. But Pocahontas becomes kind of like she's like a 14-year-old girl. So remember how I said she was this beautiful woman in the movie Pocahontas? I freaking loved it when I was like 9 or 10 years old. Freaking loved Pocahontas. She was beautiful to me. But in all reality, she was probably between the ages of 12 and 15. She was a young girl. But she acted as an intermediary. She was like, hey guys, let's all be cool. And the Native Americans were like, huh, we can be cool. And the Europeans were like, hey, we'll be cool, but we get to marry your 14-year-old daughter.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody? Everybody okay with that?
No.
Well, you're like, well, Mary had Jesus when she was like 14.
That's true.
I'm not trying to make an argument that 14-year-olds should be having babies. That's not my argument right now. I'm just saying that in the historical past, they were weird. They were weird, you know?
I thought Mary was 17.
I don't know. She's probably about four. I don't know. If you want to make the argument that she's 17, I'll take it. I don't care. But but most of the information I've seen is that she's 14, but I don't think we know. Okay, so Pocahontas marries John Rolfe. Do you believe that she doesn't even marry John Smith? That beautiful love story in Pocahontas never happened. They did not love each other. They did not get married. And she was 14, so don't, John Smith, you creep. Um, there is an uprising of 1622. A man, Opa Kano, led a surprise attack, killed 300 settlers. Whoa. You better believe there's going to be some severe consequences because we're staying. We're here for the long term, guys. We're not moving out. We're keeping you here, okay? So don't you dare try to move in on us. Jameson Lord the Seventh. What you have your hand up, bro? Go ahead.
I was wondering, like, doesn't it depend on like when they first meet Pocahontas and then how long it takes for them to ask that? Like maybe there's some period of time between meeting Pocahontas first and then asking if they could marry her by the time they've like
Yeah. So she
kind of
was
settled
probably
down.
like 16 or 17 by the time she got married.
It's still,
She was much more respectful, am I right?
I guess.
I loved 17-year-olds when I was 17, but now I'm not a creep anymore and I don't like 17 year. I mean, I like 17-year-olds, but not in a romantic way. I feel like this should be recorded. I'm kind of digging myself a hole here.
Yeah.
There's Pocahontas. Again, this is her anglicized version. We don't have any pictures of Pocahontas in a Native American sense, other than that great Disney thing. There's Powhatan. I like this series of this series of what am I looking to say here? These pictures, these are actual contemporary. I did tell you, I think at the start of class that I do use quite a bit of AI pictures because I think they resemble the current thought processes of America at that time or at this time. But these are actually real ones right here. So here's our picture of the 1622 uprising in Virginia. These savage brutes just coming and massacring. Okay. That's what the picture says, right? The picture wasn't, doesn't tell any of the nuance, right? All right. So eventually Jamestown's like, hey, wait a minute, guys. Have we talked about the economy in Jamestown, tobacco, the stinking weed? Okay.
We read
Tobacco
about
become,
it.
sorry, say that again, bro.
We read about it.
You read about it. Okay, but you haven't. Good. Good. I'm glad you read about it. Okay. So basically, there is no gold. There's nothing really that worthwhile in the Chesapeake, but they can grow tobacco. And the reason why what's the reason we all started smoking tobacco at some point in our life? Because it was cool, man. Ain't nothing look cooler than you flick your cigarette and you kind of just like blow it out gently all over, and you're just like, then you continue your conversation. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's the cool thing. And so, no, okay, again, I'm not advocating for smoking cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes is really dumb. Vaping's pretty dumb too, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you do it, try to keep it under control. But the king of England is like, you know what? This cigarette's pretty cool. Could anybody tell me about the time you first smoked a cigarette or a vape? Anyone not mind? I know it is Snow College. I don't want you to be ostracized. I smoked a cigarette when I was 16 years old. All my older friends were doing it. I'm like, I'm gonna try. And I smoked a cigarette and I felt so lightheaded. I felt buzzed and I was kind of like, oh, I feel goofy. Um, and I think that's what the king felt this sort of impact on his first cigarette. And I then threw up afterwards because it was so gross. But I never smoked again after that. One time I was one and done on the cigs. So yeah, good for me. Um, but that's what the king did. And so we all want to be like the king, right? We all want to be like the older, cooler people. That's like cigarettes are stupid. Like, that makes no sense to smoke cigarettes other than we want to look cool. And so the king of England is smoking cigarettes. All the nobles, everybody wants to do it because it's a sign of wealth. Nobody needs to smoke cigarettes. It doesn't have any medicinal purposes. Now it does on like treating like sores and wounds, but as far as just smoking it, it doesn't have any sort of medicinal or good anything behind it that's beneficial. And so why do it? Because it's a sign of Money. You have money. You have the money. Poor people couldn't afford cigarettes. They could barely afford, living. All right, let's talk about women in the family. Virginia lacked stable family life. There was no, so we talked about the Puritans a little bit. The Puritans had very stable family life. They loved the stable family life. They also had dower rights. Um, this is a time in Virginia where women had quite a bit of rights. Now tell me, any of my thinkers out there, why in 1620, 1630, 1610, 1640s, early 1600s, why would women have more rights then? Anyone? Come
It's because
on,
there
guys.
wasn't a lot of men.
Say that again.
There wasn't a lot of men around.
That's right. There was a lot of men around and very few women. They were in demand, Landon. It's like Snow College. There's like 60% women for the 40% men. Men, you got to get dates when you're at Snow. Now's your chance, guys. You're not going to get this 60-40 split very much longer. In fact, that number is an old number. I don't know what it is this year. So if it's like 55-45, forgive me. But there's more women. So whenever there's less of a commodity. Now, I know that that sounds somewhat offensive, calling women a commodity, but that's what they were looked at right then. They were a commodity. They were people that there were not very many of, and so we had to attract them. Guys had to be on their best behavior. Have you ever seen a guy who gets married and he gains a lot of weight, and then all of a sudden his wife leaves him, and he then ends up losing tons of weight and gets healthy? So he wants to attract a partner. Same thing. Virginia, there's our tobacco advertisement. There's our English people, again, wealthy people smoking their pipes, tobacco pipes. Don't those guys look pretty cool to you? Is there anybody in the sound of my voice that's like, no, those guys don't look very cool? Good. That's the right answer because they look cool. Okay, then we have Maryland. Maryland is also a tobacco colony, but the interesting thing that points out about Maryland is that it's actually for Catholics. Catholics were persecuted because remember in England, Henry VIII was like, I want to divorce my wife. And the Catholics weren't letting him. And so, yeah, he Calvert, Lord Baltimore was his name, set up a place called Maryland, and it was a refuge for persecuted Catholics. Now there was also Protestant settlers too, but the law of the land, excuse me, at that time was for excuse me, I have the hiccups. That time was set up more for more religious tolerance. I'm not going to say complete religious tolerance, but more. Go ahead, Jameson, the Lord, seventh.
Is that why there's a city named Baltimore?
Yep, exactly. Baltimore. Lord Baltimore. All right, here's going to be our next focus question. What made the English settlement of New England distinctive? Okay, what did we just talk about? Let's just ask. Let's open this for discussion right here. Again, I'm going to cold call. Um, I'm cold calling because of the medium. If you're like cold calling, not for me. I do not want to do this. Just give me a quick pass. It's fine. All right, Lainey, you are like right in the middle of my screen right now. I'm looking right at you. I apologize. That's what you get for queuing in at any time. How do you think Puritan New England life was different from Virginia?
Um, how was it different?
Yeah, what made it a distinct colony compared to Jamestown, Virginia?
I know that Jamestown was there was a lot of hardship, so maybe it was they had it a little bit
Mhm.
better.
Yeah, yeah, good point. Anybody else? Thank you, Lainey. A lot of hardship in Virginia. Adele, how about you? You got anything for me? You're also in the middle of my screen.
Could it be like religious or like cultural differences between
There
the
you go,
two?
big time. Culture and religious. That's my favorite thing to talk about is culture and religion because it's so fun and the way it shapes each other, right? Now, look, we all know that church on a Sunday or Saturday is super boring, but it's fun to study the culture of religion in my mind. And the religion was so distinct. They were very religious people. They were trying to purify, they're Puritans, to excise all of the bad stuff that was happening in England, and so they came to New England, right? Thank you, Lainey and Adele. Anybody else have any? This is probably the biggest distinction of any group that has come here since the 19 turn of the century 1900s with immigrants. What did they come as? Did they come as adventurers? What do you think, McKaylee? McKaylee Walton, what do you think? Did they come as adventurers to Puritan New England?
Aren't they more settlers than adventurers?
That's
I could
right.
be wrong.
That no, you're not wrong. You're absolutely right. They are there for the long haul. They're there to avoid religious persecution. Think of Utah, how it was originally settled by Mormon pioneers. They wanted to get away. They just wanted to settle. Now Utah's very beautiful now, but when you first got into the Salt Lake Valley, it was just desert. Old Jim Bridger was like, "Hey, Brigham Young, what the hell are you thinking, dude? This place sucks. Let's go. You're supposed to go over to California. California is way better." And Brigham Young says, "This is the place," right? We got that. I'll feel that passionate stirring within our breast when we think about Brigham Young declaring that Utah is the place. Matthias, you probably don't give a crap, do you?
Nah, I don't really care.
Screw you, Matthias. Uh,
What?
I'm just this is
That's
also
another
this is
swear word.
also being recorded. I'm sorry. Matthias, for everyone watching this video, just know that Matthias and I are cool. We're friends, okay? We can talk like that. Am I right, Matthias?
Yeah, you're right.
Cool, okay.
Completely right.
So Utah's the
No
place,
worries.
but that's exactly what Puritan New England was. Now I do want to add when you come as settlers, who comes with you?
Your family.
Your family. Who said it?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, good job. They came as families. So what was does anybody know the literacy rate between the two settlements between Puritan New England and Jamestown?
Probably something outrageous.
Huge. It was like a 50 to 60% literary difference. Does anybody know why the Puritans could read so well? What were they reading?
The
The
Bible.
Bible.
The Bible. Freak yeah, they're reading the Bible because the Bible is awesome. Who doesn't want to read about Jesus? Anyone? Matthias, you like reading about Jesus?
I've actually never read the Bible, so I can't really say I do.
Matthias,
Yeah.
I want to save your soul, bro. I want to say, I want to make you a God-fearing American Utah Bible lover.
Do I need to read the normal Bible or the Mormon Bible?
Oh, both, of
Both?
course. Because, like, I don't know, like, no, you don't have to read anything, dude. Don't read anything. Religion, like, you guys know, no. I was gonna use a quote from Karl Marx there, and then I realized we're recording. Um, no, they came as families. They could read. That's how they were educated. The Bible was a great source of education. So whether or not you guys like the Bible, that's fine with me. I don't care if you like the Bible. But the Bible was a very valuable tool for these people that came across to Puritan New England because they were more educated. People tend to make better educated decisions when they can read. That makes sense. Now, I know some really smart people that can't read because of dyslexia. If anybody suffers from dyslexia, my heart goes out to you. It's a hard disorder to deal with. It really is. But with that said, reading does, for the most part, help people learn to think because you can identify other people's ideas, right? Even if it's just the same book over and over. Like, wouldn't that suck? You're all around the fireplace and you're like, hey, Dad, let's watch K-pop Demon Hunter. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about, K-pop Demon Hunters? We're reading the book of Genesis for the 10th time this year. That's all we can do because we're just stuck in this little place, in this little. Anyways, I'm sure the Pur no, you know what else the Puritans did not do? They were like they did nothing fun. Anybody go to swing dance yesterday? Was it yesterday or to Wednesday?
It's on Wednesdays.
No one went to swing dance?
It's on Wednesdays.
I went.
I went.
Okay, I was gonna say like that's like the big deal in Ephraim is the swing dancing. In Mayfield, Utah, there's another big type of swinging going on, and it's not dancing. Yeah, Mayfield's wild, man. I tell you what, you want some wild people, go to Mayfield. They're very interesting, fun people. I like them. They're doing the dancing. Puritans can't dance. They can't watch K-pop Demon Hunters. All they do is read the Bible, and they can't dance. What kind of fun can these people have? Not much.
None. That's what.
So it's kind of a sad situation. So the Puritans are a very interesting group. They made them very distinct, right? Okay, one thing I want to talk about before I let you go is the Pilgrims, and the compact. Hold on, this is my doctor calling me real quick. I better answer this just in case. I apologize. I would never do this in ordinary circumstances other than my health being what it is. I have to. I'm really sorry.
This is so crazy. Do you think the reason they did the witch trials was because they were just so bored? Like
Honestly,
no, in our high school history class, we watched like a movie about it, and it's like all of these girls are dancing in the woods, and that's what like caused
For the Crucible?
Yeah, because they were like, oh,
I
like,
love the Crucible.
they're like the witches like cursed them, like they're cursed. And it's like these girls dancing in the woods.
They just want to have fun.
And so then they came back and the girls were like,
Yeah.
like a project.
No,
And it's like,
All right, guys, this is a pretty important conversation that I have to have right now. I apologize profusely. I think we covered most of what we wanted to cover today, other than the covenant, the civil covenant, which is one of my favorites. So if you want to look up civil covenant on your own, please do. And for extra credit, if you will give me a 2-paragraph synopsis, no, 1 paragraph telling me what the civic covenant was, and 2, if you think that we should be doing it in our communities now, okay?